Hello everybody, welcome. Would somebody like to make a motion to begin?
I will. I have a motion to begin.
And I will second it.
Okay, I'm gonna take a roll call. Kate Smith here, Robert Smith, Sue McFadden,
Here.
Dennis Kapelinski,
Here.
John Jones, Jennifer McConnell,
Here.
Bradley Chason,
Here.
Kathy Duran, Mark Jacobs.
Here.
Would somebody like to approve the minutes?
I would approve them, yes.
I'll second.
Okay, financial reports?
All right, so for the ice arena, we have our adult hockey league that started on October 4th, and we ended up with 7 teams, so this is just the start of the revenue that's coming in. We have a payment plan for that program, so basically throughout the year, they'll make a $1,000 payment. I think it's every other month, so then that way the teams aren't paying a huge lump sum for the league, so.
How many teams can you fit total?
We've had upwards of 16 before, but this year we only have 7. It could be due to COVID or anything like that. So we're just happy to get 7. So, adult softball, these were probably just the trickling in fall ball registrations, so we got $1,100 for that. That is still going on currently. We're going through playoffs, so that's going well. The Big Bear tournament rental. This was a hockey tournament that we had on October 18th. In the morning, we didn't really have anything going on, so they were able to work with us in the time frame that we needed them to. So that was a nice little chunk of change that we received for that. Big Bear?
Yeah.
This is actually a hockey tournament. Yep. So we're actually going to be working with them for 2 more tournaments coming forward. I'll talk about that later on. But we hope to make this a continual thing, to bring them in and do hockey tournaments and be able to host that kind of stuff. So. Figure skating club, this is just your normal ice that they come in for their programming as well. So that will be trickling on a regular basis as well. Drop-in hockey, that was the Monday, Wednesday, Friday drop-ins that we offer. We treated that as an organized sports. We had a white team and a black team, so then that way we could run that program during this whole time period. So that will continue to go on into November and until the ice is gone in May. So we're glad to have that back. We had an ice rental for $322.50. I tried to get the person who rented that ice. I was trying to remember who it was. I believe it was our Little Caesars team. They had a game, so they wanted to rent some more ice from us. So it wasn't part of their regular contract. So. And then concessions. These are concessions from our softball night league. We just provide pop, Gatorade, water, and a bag of chips, and that's what we accumulated for the month of October. So, and we did that all the way from July. And the last one for Ice Arena was the Pavilion Rentals. Those were the last of our rentals that we had for this month, and basically we're officially done with Pavilion Rentals for the year. So we'll start those back up next year. So, yeah. And then for Maplewood, that is our pumpkin painting that we did this month currently. That was where we had I believe it was 12 kids out for that event at the main pavilion in City Park, and that's where they painted the pumpkins and did the costume contests and stuff like that. So that was a great event to have. The FRC.
Did you say you make $240 off of 12 kids?
Yeah, we charge $15 a person. So.
That's not bad.
Yeah. FRC, this is one of their grants, through First Contact with Wayne County. This is the money that they received for the summer heat program that we did over the summer. This was the last of that big pot that I had talked about last month that we were going to get another substantial check. So this is the probably last big one that we'll get for the year from that program. But it really helps with FRC and keeping everything afloat throughout the year. So, and then just room rentals for Maplewood, we got $352 so far. We hope to expand that and get that bigger in the future. So we're just putting together a plan for doing some marketing promotions for each one of our rooms, working with cable and having them either do a video or still photos and really marketing them about doing wedding showers, baby showers, birthday parties, that kind of thing in Maplewood, so then that way people know that we're there.
How long have you been renting rooms for now?
Since October 4th. That's when we started.
That's a pretty good
So it
amount of
hasn't been
money.
too long then?
Yeah.
Or just a little bit?
And I think a lot of people will utilize that once they find out that it's accessible.
Absolutely. And that's where we're trying to do the promotions and get the word out, so then that way people know that we're there. So, dance and fitness classes, that's just revenue that we got from those programs. And then Pantry donations, we got $576 as of when I did this agenda last Friday. But I just found out today that, yesterday, we received a check for $10,000 as a donation.
Wow.
For the pantry. So it came from a Livonia nonprofit. We're trying to figure out who it was so we can at least call them and thank
Wow.
them.
Yeah.
But we're very excited to kind of get that substantial amount of money going into the winter time so that we can keep providing that great service.
We're on the holidays, yeah.
How is that going with the pantry music? Is that calmed down from, the pandemic?
Yes.
Beginning?
Yeah, and it's one of those things that it's always utilized, but during probably March through May, we were really busy. I was over there probably 2 or 3 days a week, just helping out. But it has slowed down, but it also, we have the opportunity to have volunteers in there now to help us with the food pantry and providing for customers coming in. So that also helps as well. But yes, to answer your question, yes, it has slowed down a little bit, but it's still substantial. So it's still a great service.
Absolutely. No, I think that's wonderful, and that donation, that you should do a written thing, because that's huge. That's really nice.
Absolutely.
Any questions or comments regarding financial reports? Okay, moving on to, that was just revenue. All right, expenditures.
Yeah, now we have expenditures. So I wanted to provide you guys some of the expenditures that we have for the ice arena and for Maplewood recently. It's not every single one that we have, but it's the ones that are kind of out of the ordinary. So we'll kind of go through these real quick. The absolute plumbing. Garden City requires us to get all of our piping cross-connection tested. So that is us getting the ice arena connections tested. We have 3 cross connections that have to be inspected and tested, and they all came through good. But that is just, it's a $100 fee for each one, so that's where the $300
Yearly? You did this yearly?
Yes. Crawford doors, that was for the pool house bathrooms. We had some huge issues with the way that the doors were laid out for the pool house bathrooms because we had a handle with a lock in the handle. What people were doing is they were just breaking the handle and then they were able to either get in or they were breaking the handle to where we couldn't even get in anymore. So it was a constant battle back and forth. So we went the industrial route and got basically a door that closes. Basically, it opens in, but then there's a handle that you can pull it, and then it closes with a deadbolt. It's not on the handle. And with the handle, it's just one of those grab handles. It's not one of those ones where you open the door. It's just push in and just make it easy. So far, so good.
So when you lock it, you just lock it with the deadbolt?
Yep. And then that way, there's no issues with that. The other thing too is we were having people go into the bathroom and then locking themselves in. Nope, we made it to where it's just flat on the new doors. It's flat, so then that way nobody can have access to lock it or unlock it from the inside. a safety option
Yes.
Absolutely. That's smart.
too. Calgraphics, that was an order for our playoff and league champ t-shirts. Great Lakes Trophy, that is for our softball trophies that we ordered as well. Amazon, we ordered a lamp for the Zamboni, so it's the light that basically, when you're looking into the Zamboni where it's shooting all the ice into the big tank, there's a light there so you can actually see where all the ice is going and how the level is, where that light went out, so we had to order it. Moonlight printing, that is just for envelopes for us at Parks and Rec, so that's pretty typical. Pepsi, that is an order for our concessions for not only the softball, but also for the ice arena for when we open up our concessions. So, yep, it'll be as of November 1st, just for you.
Isn't that nice? Very special.
Also GFS, that's just another concession supply that we did an order along with Sam's Club as well. It's just ordering your pre-packaged foods. We're not doing anything that we're going to prepare right away. Also, with the concession stand, if we want to be able to prepare foods, we have to have a certification through the health department in order to prepare that food. Now, with pre-packaged, you don't need that. So that's why we're going to go that route first with our ice arena concession stand as well. Just to kind of get us through, and then hopefully down the road, it will open up to where we can actually do
What kind of food are you talking pre-packaged?
so like nachos, your bags of chips. There are some things you can throw into the microwave that basically we won't be preparing. You'll buy it, and we'll hand it to you, and then you put it in the microwave. So that way it's not just your chips and stuff. It is,
Pizza, stuff like that.
yeah, that kind of stuff. So.
Did they ever prepare food there?
Yeah, like your soft pretzels, your bongo sticks,
Frozen pizzas.
Yep.
Steaks, they did,
typical chicken strips and stuff like that. We didn't ever do fries because we don't have a fryer, but eventually I would love to get to that part. I'd love to do fries. But the space in there is a little limited, so we're kind of just being able to.
Right. Yeah.
Signorama, that was us ordering our no smoking in the park signs, so that is that fee. And then making our last payment for our Zamboni purchase, that's that $25,000. So that one is done, so that is all done. And then with Maplewood, we just ordered a TV stand, TV, and sound bar for in Maplewood. So in case you come for a birthday party, or if you want to have an event there and you want to be able to show a video or something like that on a television, we have a 55-inch television that can roll around whatever room you want. It'll be great for also for staff meetings if we want to do a PowerPoint or something like that. So there'll be a lot of great uses for it. So.
Is that in a secured area, and if somebody does want to use it, is it a special request, and do they have to have a deposit down?
Yeah, for the TV, we worked out that if you rent a room, it'll just be an extra $10 fee if you want the television and everything like that. Just so that way it helps recover the cost for it, so in case we want to replace it, or if we want to buy another one, it can help go towards that.
Otherwise, is it like secured so people can't handle it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Is it just one room or you can roll it around?
It'll be able to roll around anyway. So,
I did have a question on
Mhm.
Signorama.
yes.
So did the no smoking signs just go to the two parks, City Park and Moeller?
Nope, we have them in every single park that we have.
Okay.
Yep.
For some reason, I thought they were just going around the area where the spectators were for the ball games.
No, we put them in City Park, we put them on every one of the backstops at the softball area. And then we also put them on the sign that's walking, as you're walking back towards the softball area. There's like a sign right here on the right-hand side, we put one there. We put I think 3 other places throughout City Park. And then we put them also at Rotary, and then Arcola, and we put them in all the other parks as well.
I didn't realize we were gonna do that. I just thought it was around.
I think that's once the city, once the council made an ordinance for all the parks, that
Yeah, I just thought the concern was the,
around kids.
yeah, around the, you know, the stands and where people were congregating and things like that. I didn't
No,
realize
because
it
the
was.
policy is anywhere, basically anywhere for kids.
Okay.
So-
So like we're on the playground equipment.
Right.
I just didn't realize that because I don't remember us discussing it.
Oh.
Just remember discussing the baseball fields.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I was gonna say, they were the main culprits, but when council passed it, it was for, you just did it for all the parks.
Thank you, Mark.
So on the back side, letter B, we have preschool playtime supplies. We are going to be offering a preschool playtime at Maplewood Center on Mondays from 9 until 11. That is going to start sometime in November. But basically it'll be a time when mom and toddler can come in and they can play in the gymnasium and just have some free playtime in case it's raining outside or if they just want to have a place where they want to hang out with some friends and stuff like
It's
that.
cold outside.
Yeah, they can do that.
But
So
it's just for preschool kids only.
it's for your youngsters. We're not really putting a set, age limit on it, but it's going to be like the kiddie toys. Like
Okay.
your typical like flip mats and stuff like that. So yes, there is going to be a fee. It's going to be $3, but it's only for the child. The parent gets in free. So
Is there a limit for kids?
there will be a limit. I don't think that we've figured out what the cap is going to be just yet.
And do they wear masks too, just like everything else?
Yes, there will be mask requirement. And then, any other questions? Vacuum and air purifier.
Sorry, do you have a designated room for that?
Yep, the gymnasium.
Oh, I'm sorry, I might have missed that, thank you.
No problem. And then we ordered a vacuum and an air purifier. One of our rooms is one of the rooms that we utilize for the Wayne County Meals on Wheels. And it tends to smell like Meals on Wheels. So we invested in an air purifier to see if that could help with the instance. We're hoping that it can help with the smell in there, and then also the vacuum is for when we have parties or anything. We don't have any staff or any cleaning crew that comes through, so we had to buy a vacuum just so that way we could clean the rooms in between rentals or anything like that.
There's not a janitorial crew over there anymore?
There is, but we just figured we would just buy one just so that way we had easy access to it all the time, because those aren't always easily accessible. So
Do you know how many times a week the janitorial system or staff clean it?
they come in Monday through Friday in the evenings.
Okay.
Yep.
I think you get that food in there, that smell's gonna stick around for a little while once you purify it with that air.
I mean, yeah, I think it's a good idea to have a vacuum. I mean, you don't know if you're gonna have a couple bookings, you know.
And you want to clean it between.
You wanna clean it in between. Yeah, I was just curious though about that.
Another thing that works well for odors though is simple charcoal briquettes.
Really?
Just get a bag of charcoal briquettes and stick it in the corner. Just open the bag up. And I use it up north for like musty smells. And I'm not saying that you necessarily want to have a bag of briquettes around. I'm just saying though, but it works.
It absorbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never heard that before.
And it's a extremely inexpensive way to get rid of smells.
Okay. Cool.
There you go. I want to know if you're going to barbecue in there.
All right, and then just moving on, we're gonna start offering pickleball and badminton at Maplewood. So we're
Pickleball is
gonna-
huge now.
Oh yes, it was huge in my previous position as well. We had probably 5 days a week of drop-in. So we purchased some tape to put on the floor in the gymnasium, and we'll start offering that probably come December, I would think, or November. but offering free days to come and learn how to play first. And then that way people get the hang of it, and then we start having the drop-ins and everything after that. So, yeah, it's fun. I like playing it as, it's the stereotype of for seniors, but it's really fun no matter what age. Because it's like a cross between badminton and tennis. It's a really easy game to play. Maplewood reopening supplies, that was for masks, for hand sanitizer, gloves, that sort of stuff. So that's what that purchase was for. And then for our pumpkin painting event, that was the final purchase.
Sorry. Questions or comments regarding expenditures? Hearing none, we'll move on to program reports.
All right, softball. So softball is currently into playoff weeks. We were trying to run leagues tonight, but it was just way too wet. So we're gonna have to postpone to Tuesday men's league to next week, which is not ideal, but it's what we got to deal with. So yeah, so that's what's going on with softball. For the Friday night leagues, there's a request to put nets up for the pitchers. And as a refresher for the open leagues on Fridays, this is for no restrictions on level of players and stuff like that. So you guys, there's some pretty good players that can really crank the ball. So there was a request to put out nets for the pitchers, so we started doing that last week.
What kind of nets are, what are they, just
Basically, I think they're 7 foot high, and they stand up probably like 3 feet wide, and then it's just netting, and then we just anchor it into the ground, just so then that way if the ball
so
does
the
hit
pitcher
the net-
just pitches at the side of it and then goes behind the net?
Yeah, we actually used it for our home run derby, so it was a great trial run for it. So, but yeah, they held up well, and they were pretty inexpensive as well. So,
That's nice that they requested that and we got that for them.
yeah. Kickball, it's in its final week this week. Hopefully the rain holds out. This rain is just crazy lately. And then cornhole is in the playoffs this week. Ball hockey, we're just in our, I think our 3rd or 4th week right now, and that's going off without a hitch, so it's going well. And then Halloween skate was this past Saturday. We had about 60 to 65 participants, which was great to see. Lots of natural social distancing out on the rink, so that was great to see as well. The fog, Downey got a little excited with.
Oh, it was fog?
Yeah, we had it.
Of course, this time of the year, you can't, you know.
It was a little
Well,
foggy.
the humidifiers were working, this was the fog machine.
Yes.
Oh, the
It
fog
worked really-
machine?
it worked really well.
Really well?
It worked really well.
Really? Like 2 out?
Like you couldn't see anybody?
Yeah, we had to turn on the exhaust fans. So definitely a learning experience, but if anything, it was a great turnout for everything. We gave out a best costume award, and we really didn't get any complaints from anybody. So
Did Mark win?
Mark over here did not dress up.
I was sad that I just thought I should have won that.
You know, he was probably dressed up as a council person.
Doesn't get much uglier than this. Except for
That worked out well.
So yeah, that's basically what the program reports.
Questions or comments? Nobody? Nothing? Alright, moving on to old business.
All right, so this is something that hasn't been brought up in any of our meetings yet, but it's been an issue that I've been trying to address ever since I came on board. Back in January, I was informed that our compressor in the ice arena, which is pretty new, we got it in August of 2018, had a leak on it. So I reached out to Simco, which was the brand of compressor that was installed, and said, hey, I heard that there's a leak. I heard that you guys were made aware of it. Would like to see that this gets fixed. So I shot the email out. COVID hit. And then come about May, I reached out to them again and said, hey, this is still an issue. It's not fixed. You know, like what's happening? And they still still didn't respond. So it got to be to where September came and we had to open up the ice rink and we had to add 225 pounds of freon.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Oh,
No, it's not good at all because it was $4,100.
yeah, that's a lot of money.
And that was an issue before. I mean,
Yes.
With
we-
the old,
With the old one,
Yes.
you
Yeah,
know, and
so-
trying to get it.
Yeah, and so I finally got in touch with Nick Sutton, who is their service regional supervisor, and he told me that I had to provide documentation that that Dan, the previous director, had informed them. So I didn't have any access to emails from Dan, so I had to get with Will, and we finally got that figured out, and I found the email from him emailing Dan Smith, who is our rep for Simcoe. And long story short, they're coming out to fix it. So we're just trying to work out a day and time for them to come out and fix
will
it.
they charge us for it, or,
Heck no.
and will they
And
replace the
yeah.
cost of the
Reimburse.
Reimburse,
And
Yeah.
that's the other thing that I'm going after them with too, is like I was very adamant in every single one of my emails since September that, hey, we got this bill coming, we need you guys to take care of this
Yeah.
because we informed you within the crazy part is we spent $1 million on this compressor and it had a 1-year warranty. A car has a longer warranty than the compressor.
Mm.
So we ended up working that out. Now with the Freon bill, that I've gone to Doc with and said, hey, they're ignoring this request completely. They're not even acknowledging it. So we've gone to legal and said, hey, legal, can you reach out to them? Maybe they'll take you a little bit more seriously, and hopefully that will nip it in the
yeah,
bud.
because you figure, did the was it installed improperly? Did the leak form within,
Doesn't matter, it shouldn't.
not within a year and a half or so, you know?
Right. Well, and like,
And if they would have fixed it when they were supposed to fix it, we wouldn't have had that bill.
yeah, when they were informed,
It was still under warranty probably,
it was.
yeah.
It was within like 7 days, but it was still within the year of when we started it up. And so like I forwarded that all on to them and then they started trying to say, you know, can you take pictures and show us where the leak is? I'm like, that is your responsibility.
Yeah.
not mine."
Yeah.
How do you know where the leak, do you know?
Yeah.
I didn't go to like compressor school.
Yeah.
I don't know this stuff. So it's not. It's from what I understand, what Ralph has told me, it's up above. So
I really hope that they reimburse that
I
$4,100.
will be on them.
And
white on
it makes
this.
me never want to use that company again.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
terrible.
There's only 2 of them around.
Yeah. so
That's
you-
fine. We'll try out the other one. That's terrible. You had to fight with
That is
them.
terrible.
And it's frustrating, but I'm glad that they're finally acknowledging that they were in the wrong. So
Customer service just isn't what it used to be.
no.
So were you saying they wanted you to find an email that Dan sent?
Yes.
Dan was here within that 1-year warranty.
Because they were saying that, they were in contact within their 1-year warranty.
And they're saying that Dan didn't contact them, prove Dan contacted us.
Well, and the best part
How
was,
did you know that Dan did contact
because I
them?
found the email. Because I went through Dan's
So what you're
emails.
saying is they knew that Dan contacted
Oh, yeah.
them,
Well,
but they wanted you to find the email, but they had the email from Dan.
yep. The Dan Smith, who is our Simcoe rep, he sent me an email, you know, being very apologetic. He was like, I'm really sorry about this. I'm forwarding your emails and Dan's emails on to whoever. I'm like, well, Dan Smith has it. So I called up Dan Smith and I said, Dan, can you forward me the email that Dan sent you to let you know that there's this leak? He's like, oh, I deleted it. I'm like, okay, then go into
Wow.
your deleted email. Go into your deleted email and just forward it to me. It's real easy. He's like, oh, I permanently deleted it.
Or go to your forward, your sent ones.
Why would you
I'm
do
like,
that when
Okay, you're
it's
trying
under
to cover it
warranty?
now, so
Yeah,
Yeah, because
It's cool.
they didn't want to do it.
that made me even more motivated to go searching for it.
even that, it could have been too
kinda
that,
seems fraudulent and illegal.
Well, it is, but it's bad business.
it's just bad business practice, yeah.
Wow.
He probably,
Can't
he could
prove
have even
that. I think
deleted
there's a
it
proof that
after
I
you
lied
called.
to you.
Which I'm sure is what happened.
Yeah, because
That's
he knew he
so
was in trouble
crazy.
for not responding to them.
The 1-year warranty too, I don't.
But and Nick Sutton was like, "Oh, well, you guys had the opportunity to get an extended one. If you're spending $1 million, why do you need an extended one?"
I don't ever.
How are you gonna
Well,
extend anything if you can't get a hold of
If
anybody?
it's $1 million, I want the best I can get.
Yeah.
Like 1 year seems like nothing. I don't remember talking about that issue or anything.
Yeah,
I don't even
And
remember
you-
knowing that it had a leak.
$25,000.
Oh no, don't tell Mark, it's a soft spot.
okay.
Talking about you.
But at least we're gonna hopefully make out,
Yes, we're gonna get it fixed.
break even.
Yes. Oh, so yeah,
They
that
have
was,
taste in people's mouth.
yes. On to grants, positive
Yes.
news. Helen Park, so I went in front of council and we are approved to go and move forward with the Helen Park grant. So I hope to move forward with that and then hopefully maybe get that done next summer, at the very latest. I mean, spring, summer, hopefully how quickly we can get it done to get it rolling. And then City Park, we're still in the approval process. That's still December, January that they'll get us approved. And then I will start pushing forward with that to get that going
Okay.
too. So maybe we'll have 2 decent projects next summer.
Nice.
So
Great.
that's my goal.
Thank you for checking on that stuff.
Staffing wise, like I had mentioned before in our last meeting, we were pretty short staffed from kids leaving for full-time jobs. We have hired 2 park attendants and then 1 Zamboni driver so far. And then we have 3 more going through the HR process currently.
Are they the park attendants or is it?
They're park attendants / maybe rink supervisors.
Oh, okay.
So it's going to be a great fit. So then that way, like even in our interviews, we're asking them, are you open to other jobs or are you just looking for this one? All of them had said, no, I'm open to anything. So we got like really good people coming in to say, hey, they're open to doing different things. So then that way we can kind of use them as like a Swiss Army knife. So
Mhm.
Are these full-time or part-time people?
part-time.
Part-time.
One of them is actually, he worked over at the city of Wayne as a Zamboni driver when I worked at Wayne. So it was very
Oh, you worked
ironic.
at Wayne?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Good, he has
Some good
experience,
people.
that's good.
Yep. So he'll be a quick train. It's like riding a bike. Walking path, we're working on the paintings. We were this morning.
I saw that. I saw the little caution
Templates.
off. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were trying to get that done today. I doubt they got everything done, but we'll get that done hopefully by the end of the week. So, trail camera is replaced at Rotary. I put it in a way better spot.
That's one of my questions. Where is it? I keep looking for it. I keep.
Oh, fun, I found them both.
Did you?
Not the first ones.
Oh, okay. All right.
The
Okay.
first ones, not
So I'll
the.
give you a challenge then. See if you can find both of them.
Yeah, I don't think we should talk.
All right.
Good point.
I mean,
Good point.
this is
All right.
videotaped, so we don't wanna say where they
Right.
are.
No.
That's-
Yeah.
Can you take your binoculars
Yeah.
out like you're bird watching?
Yeah.
Oh,
All
and
right.
my security camera's down.
So, last meeting we had an inquiry about Central City Park and how it was funded in Westland. I found out from Kyle, who's the director over there, he said it was funded through the DDA and then a DNR passport grant. So that's definitely something that we can look into for the DNR side. With the DDA, I don't know what that could be.
I didn't know that they had a DDA. I thought they had a Chamber of Commerce.
They do have, yeah, they have a Chamber of Commerce,
I
little,
don't think they have a DDA though. So you
Maybe they did. No?
I don't know if they only had that Chamber of Commerce. It's right there by,
On,
New Bergen, Florida.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows what they actually call it downtown.
So, do you know how much they got from each of those?
I don't. He said he was gonna try and look into it for me and find out. But yeah, the DNR passport grants, I mean, those are pretty fluent. It's a lot like the grant that we got for the city park. So it's something that we can definitely go after to kind of look into.
Yeah, I would,
That'd be
that's for
great.
sure.
Any questions or comments regarding old business?
Yeah, I was curious, I was wondering how it's coming for the benches at Manor.
Yep, I just talked with Steve Monday about it. He is trying to, he's got a lot of cement work coming, and he is still trying to get to where he can get the cement slab done. He's to the point now to where he doesn't know if he wants to put the benches up necessarily, just because of putting them through the weather of winter for like a couple of weeks.
I would say wait.
Yeah?
We're not, we're about to be done, and if they wait, that's completely fine.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think with the spring coming, and I can talk about that later too, is, you know, we are getting into more teams, so we may use those as game fields, but right now we're fine.
Okay. I'll definitely let Steve know for
Yeah,
that. But
yep.
at least getting the cement slabs put in, that's still a focus before winter time comes. So,
Any other questions or comments?
Do you know when they're gonna be done and clean up all the debris around the sidewalk over there on there?
I do not.
Okay. Moving on to new business.
All right. Preschool playtime, I kind of talked a little bit about this already. This is going to be offered at Maplewood. It's for your mom and tots or your dad and tots to come in and just play around in the gymnasium, just for a little bit of exercise time and get the kids tired out. Then Parents' Night Out. This is something I've used in numerous different facilities I've worked in. Basically, it gives the parents an opportunity to kind of go and have a night out. Basically, the parents would drop their kids off, and we would take the kids like from 5:30 until 9 p.m. So basically, what we're going to do is it's going to be on December 11th as our first one. It'll be from 5:30 to 9, and it will be $10. And then for any siblings, it will be $5. So basically, we will feed the kids. We'll have a movie, or we'll have games to play, or we'll play dodgeball with them, or Nerf, something along those lines.
That's such a
really
cool.
cool.
What's the age?
I think 5 to 11. I think
Okay.
we said. We didn't want to do anything younger than that
Yeah.
because we didn't want to have to worry about potty training and all that, so that can get a little dicey. But for December 11th, what we're really trying to theme that towards is parents that haven't gone Christmas shopping yet. It gives them 3.5 hours to go out and do it. Or if they want to go out with hubby or Mrs. or whatever they want to do, they can go out and do it, and then they can come back and pick up the kids.
That's really awesome.
So will the FRC, those people, Kelly and Zach, and them be running that, or you have specific other people that are running that?
This is Faith, and then one of our front desk girls.
Okay.
I can. That's no problem.
So what's the limit on intakes?
We're gonna cap it at 20.
Wow, 2 people with 20
That
kids?
seems like not enough.
Yeah.
For that age group, definitely. I got those age,
I think you're within ratio, aren't you? The older age
One
groups.
to 10, but I mean, we can, if we feel that it's not enough, we can definitely be flexible with that.
You borrow your phones now.
Right,
Oh, those parents are.
We're looking for volunteers?
right? What are you doing tonight?
That's why I thought maybe you'd pull the Kelly and Zach and those guys into it, because they're used to dealing with that stuff, so.
Yeah.
What are the hours of that again?
It'll be 5:30 to 9 p.m. And that will start on December 11th, and we're gonna do that monthly. So every single month, we'll have a parents' night out. So then that way parents have something to look forward to, kind of do a cheap sitter in a sense, to kind of be able to go do their thing, and then come on back and the kids will be fed and will be taken care of. So
Yeah, no kidding. What'd you say you were charging on that again? Sorry.
$10, and then any siblings will be $5 each.
Wow,
That's such a cool idea. I like that.
And
that's
it's
a great price.
well, and it's a huge success even in the previous places I've done because, well, the previous places I had, like they had, other amenities, but it's great because it just gives parents the opportunity to go out and do a date night, So
Mhm.
that's the main thing for me.
As long as they don't come pick up their kids tanked. No drinking and driving.
Yeah.
I'm sure Brad Salt's seen that before.
Yes. All right, and then dodgeball leagues, we just started promoting those. We're gonna do an adult league that's gonna start on December 4th. We've already had probably 3 or 4 teams sign up already for adults, which is great. A lot of them are being our kickball league participants. And since we're only doing 6 people to a team, basically you can divide your team from kickball in half and do 2 teams. So, and it's, you know, it's just another thing that we can offer as a department, so.
You're gonna do it at the gym, at the Maplewood Center?
Yep. And that
Good
will,
aggression.
oh yeah. And then we're also gonna offer a kids one too. That'll start on December 7th. But we're gonna have registration, kind of like how GCYA or soccer club does theirs. You know, the parent only has to pay for the one child, and then we'll put them into teams based on our rate night that we do. Like, we'll have the kids throw the ball, try to catch the ball, and rate them basically an A, B, C. So then that way teams are a little bit more even instead of having some stacked teams where they come in and beat everybody or something. So,
Is there an age for the
yes, I think, does it say it on the flyer? I don't have
kids?
the flyer in front of me.
7 to 12.
Yeah, 7,
For kids,
It was 7 to 12.
7 to 12.
yeah, 7 to 12. So, and there'll be a happy mix, hopefully, of 7 to 12 girls on each team.
Yeah.
They won't be, you know, set either way. And then we've been approached already from a gentleman by the name of Jason who is, wants to have us host a girls softball tournament next June. It would be the weekend of June 26th, 27th, 28th. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we're just trying to work out details amongst, you know, what fields he would need, how long he would need them, pricing, that sort of thing. So I would rather have things up front, and then that way be able to plan, be able to communicate with GCYA and stuff like that.
Say, talk to them, see when, Current Classic is.
And
But at least it doesn't overlap with them, so that
Yep.
shouldn't be.
well, and that would be the priority. Is Kerwin Classic would have priority over anything,
Yeah.
and then whatever is after that.
Or whatever date they
Yeah,
pick.
yeah.
That's nice.
So, yeah. Also in our last meeting, we did talk about the 5-year plan was brought up to maybe possibly review that. So I put in your guys' packet the roundtable discussions of things that people were kind of looking for, just to kind of refresh all of our memories of what we were kind of looking for the parks and stuff like that. And also, I had printed off the Parks and Recreation goals and objectives too, to help me kind of revisit that a little bit more regular, just so then that way we make sure we're staying on task with that. In regards to the roundtable discussion, is there anything that we wanted to bring up, or, you know, is there anything that you noticed that we could really kind of start striving for, or?
I have a question. So where are we at with the year that we're in the timeline of what they wanted to get done?
So,
When did we put the 5-year plan
it was 2019 to 2023.
So we're in our 2nd year.
Yes.
So do we have a timeline of what happened that first year, where we're at now, what needs to happen moving forward, and so that we can shoot for goals?
You had goals in there for each.
Right, yeah, but we haven't ever talked about it yet,
Right.
so that's why I was like, this is kind of a little concerning, because I remember when I first got in, that was the thing, is the 5-year plan was presented, everything was exciting, this is all the things that we have to look forward to over the next 5 years.
Right.
But recently, it seems like we haven't talked about any of the 5-year plan, so that's why I was like, are we supposed to be doing something this month to
Yes.
achieve those? So,
Well, the thing.
I guess that's why I brought it up, because it
was
was
this
kind
silly COVID thing.
of, oh, and that too, yeah, totally,
Everything.
yeah.
The actual 5-year plan had this in the very back, so I printed this off just for myself,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But it is in the back of the 5-year plan, and it breaks down each year things that we would like to do.
Yeah.
So there is a plan.
Right.
And we just kind of, I have to also re-evaluate where we're stance on it and what we need to start striving for with this 5-year plan.
Right, okay.
So,
So is anyone holding us to this deadline? Is the city, and maybe Mark, maybe you'll know this, is the city and council and mayor holding us to, or city manager holding us to this? Like we have to present every month and make sure we're doing these things?
No, what we will do is try like we did in 19 or 18 when we got you guys to re-update the 5-year plan. That's pretty much
Yeah.
your goals and objectives.
So it's it's our, as a commission, job to make sure that we're following year by year, right? Okay, got it, okay.
And I can touch, this is what's in the back, this is the one that I gave you guys. I didn't realize it was in the back.
Yeah, it's in the very back,
I
yeah.
have my copy somewhere.
I
Yes.
know,
I do
oh, I
too.
know, right,
Yeah.
right now.
So, and like, we can honestly go over the things that we were supposed to do for 2019.
Yeah, I have it.
And just touch on them a little bit. I mean, the first one was replace all play equipment for accessibility and safety and modernity.
There's some big requests.
Yeah, and that was a budget of $500,000.
I think that was for the grant.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a grant.
So I think with City Park and the renovations we're doing there, that's a step in the right direction.
Mhm.
But like, we need to focus on all of them. So maybe we start looking at grants this winter and saying, hey, okay, can we do another big grant to take care of Arcola or in Kiwanis and kind of do maybe a three renovations.
So wasn't it, like, was it $325,000 we were supposed to get?
Yes,
And the city was going to match that?
it was like 25%.
25%.
Yeah,
So that's what we were gonna get playground equipment with.
yes.
If
that's
we get the
City Park.
grant.
Yep.
So did that ever come through? Because the transition between you and Dan.
Yep.
Things have gotten, shuffled around
We're
you know,
still-
with COVID.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, we're still waiting on
We're
that.
still
That
waiting
was
for the
the,
state to say if they'll give us a
The
grant.
grant that was
Oh.
on,
Wow, that's been a really
Yeah.
long time.
under old business
Yeah, under-
for
yeah.
grants, City Park. That's the one that we're waiting on for December and January for that and try to get something to fund that, so. It's definitely no problem. And then that was it for 2019. Do we want to go through 2020?
Well,
I
it,
think we really want to go through all that and update it and
I think that should be like a whole meeting, maybe.
a
When-
separate special meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
it sounds like though, I know we're in the right direction. I mean, it's, a lot of times you aren't gonna be able to get like everything you want done on them, but as long as you're heading in the direction.
It's like a 5-year capital plan.
Yeah,
Right,
that the city-
because it's still,
Yeah.
it's
yeah,
it's
It's a
still,
wish list.
right.
You
Yeah.
get the money,
Sure.
you have the funds, then you go
Yeah.
out and
if the council won't approve the money for it, you just don't, you can't get it. I mean,
Right. So,
It's that simple.
but there might be things in there that we've gotten that, in 20 or 19, 20, heading into 21 that we're planning on that, maybe we just moved up that we didn't even know about, and put Doc in and Brad, that, it's different, we're running it.
If I can remember the other one, yeah, you can move things around. You might have something for the third year that we did this year.
Have some flexibility to
Yeah.
it. Makes sense. Okay. Then we'll definitely get that. To-do list. Anything that you guys have noticed and needs special attention?
I put
Gotcha.
something in the city park. There was like one of those parking blocks that was shifted.
Yes, I saw
Did you
that
see
this
that?
morning. Yep.
And then, I have been bringing this up for a very long time, but the awning at the bathroom pavilion in the middle is rotting. So it's somewhat going, but it looks like if it doesn't get taken care of, that black mold and that rotted wood it's just kind of crumbling. And I just keep noticing it every month, so I just keep putting it on my inspection report.
Like one at the pool bathroom or?
Yeah.
I had DPS try to fix it, and it wasn't fixed the way that I thought it would be.
Yeah.
So maybe I gotta go with Steve to kind of say, okay, if we were to like really fix this, like rip it off
Yeah,
and do it right,
yeah.
what would be it?
It just, what happens is, so the water collects in the middle, it drips down, and then, like, another thing too is that, the paint going into that bathroom house is really bad, like on the ground. So it's almost like tearing, like where it drips down, it's leaving those like watermarks, so the paint there is kind of wilted away from that. But I'm sure everyone's noticed it, if you go to those bathrooms over there, it just looks really dark and dingy and really scary looking. The bathhouse with the nice new doors. I mean, that has never changed since the pool was there when I was a kid. It looks no different. So that's just what I noticed everyone. So, I mean, the only major issue. I noticed the workout equipment that's in the playground area that was roped off. I don't know if you guys are repairing that or whatever.
I actually was informed of that, Monday. We had a guest, or I'm sorry, a resident inform me on Monday morning, so I had Chris go ahead and caution tape it. Steve is aware of it. Steve requested that we put cones on it and caution tape it just so people.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because it's really loose.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, there's a bracket underneath it that screws hold these like 5 plastic runs where it's like almost like a lean-to ramp kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the screws have all fallen out, so the bracket's just like hanging there. And then the other one, I noticed that one of the planks was sticking up on one side, and then there was another plank sticking up on the other, and it's because the screws had popped out from the bottom. So we went ahead
On
and
the fitness
cautioned.
court or on something else?
No, this is the balance area over by the playground.
Okay.
So we just wanted to caution it off, so then that way nobody would use it and maybe get hurt. So Steve is aware of it, so he's hoping to get to that either hopefully this week.
Yeah.
Going through these forums, I see a lot of the remarks were for more mulch, looking at something like that, so I don't think there'd be some for next year.
That's what I thought too. Because I know
Yeah, you don't.
Rob talked about it last month, but when I was looking at it, all the leaves are down on it, so it probably doesn't even make sense to put anything down now, especially we're getting into the winter months, and I'm sure it's not gonna be used as much, so I thought spring probably.
I think it had a 2-year lifespan, and that was 2 years ago now, I think is what I did it.
Yeah.
Not last year, but the year before.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a request for the spring.
Definitely drainage at Manor and more is an issue. All within that mulched area.
And which one?
Yep.
Florence Park is doing great with the drainage, so you know. Finally. All right, any other comments, questions regarding new business? Nothing? Okay. Moving on to communications and upcoming events.
We are going to be offering a Nerf Wars night on Saturday, November 7th. Basically, we have for the 7 and 9-year-olds, we start at 9 a.m. We have, I think, 10 spots filled, so we only have 2 more spots available. For the 10 to 12-year-olds, I think we only have 3 spots taken, so there's a couple more spots for that. But for that night, we're going to be offering a capture the flag game, and then also a free-for-all where everybody's on their own, so you don't have a team to support you, and if you get shot with a dart, you're out. And then a paper plate skeet shooting. So you can think of it as your normal skeet shooting, you're shooting the big orange things that just shatter. Well, we're going to use it with darts, and we're going to use those paper plates and put basically a target on it and throw it vertically up in the air to see if the kids can shoot it. We tried it a little bit at the ice arena the other night. It doesn't seem that hard. So we figure we give it a shot and see how it goes.
Whose Nerf gun was used?
It's the ones that we're gonna use for the event.
Oh, okay, I thought it was your personal.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
But no, we're super excited for this event. We've already done one planning meeting for it. We're gonna probably do one more before the actual day of the event. But it will be me, Faith, and Matt Lee that will be here. So.
John Frosch had one of those when my kids were in karate.
Mhm.
And oh my gosh. They all brought their own Nerf guns, but let me tell you what, they sure did have a great time.
So this one, we're gonna provide like our guns, so then that way, in case kids don't have one, they
Yeah, of
can
course.
utilize one. But for the next one, I'm gonna say, okay, you can bring your own gun, you just gotta use our darts.
Yes.
So it's just gotta be able
Because
to
then it would
use.
be like, it's mine!
Yeah,
It's my
cause
dart!
we have like 2,000 darts, so we have plenty of bullets, as you might call it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just as long as if they wanna bring their own gun, that's totally fine for the next one in February. But for this one, we'll just use ours to make sure everything's hunky-dory, so.
What are the hours for this?
It goes from 9 to 11, and then 11 to 1.
Say this is in the morning.
Yep.
And what was the cost?
Nerf night,
I think it was $15,
oh, cost.
and
there's
it
no cost.
includes the gun, safety glasses, and the darts.
And a mask.
Well,
But they
can
don't
have
keep that
masks.
stuff, right?
Oh.
No.
Oh.
We're gonna disinfect everything in between the two age groups, and then we'll provide for the next one.
For the older age range, maybe you could like send something out to the school for those age ranges to try to get more kids.
If he needs to, he might not even need to.
Well, so far we kind of need to.
For the older
Oh.
range,
Yeah.
there's only 3.
Yep.
For the lower age range, I
What
signed
date
up
is
my
that?
boy, so he's excited. Looking forward to it.
What date's the older age?
It'll be November 7th.
Is it, oh, it's in the afternoon, right?
It's from 11 to 1.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So say I could bring a whole soccer team, but we have soccer games that day, so. That would be awesome, but it's probably something that we could probably arrange down the road to have like a team building type thing, so.
Maybe you could rent them out or something.
I have about 100 Nerf guns that I could literally donate to somebody right now, so I could.
I have a box too.
I think we've got
We'll take
about 6.
Okay.
We'll take whatever you guys don't want.
Yes.
So yeah, that is basically our Nerf night. We're pretty excited about it, so definitely look forward to it.
Sounds like fun.
So, Ice Arena, we are going to be on starting November 1st, offering open skate and sticks and pucks again. The open skate on Sundays will be from 12 to 1:30, and then sticks and pucks will be from 1:30 to 3. All the other days I don't have in my head right now, so we'll have promotional pieces coming out with all those different days and times. So. Parking inspection forms, we kind of talked about this in our last meeting. I provided those for you guys in your packets. If you guys can get those back to our office by the 15th, we'll make copies for everybody to give in your packets back to you for November. So then that way all of you guys have those for the meeting, for the next meeting.
Any questions or comments regarding communications and upcoming events?
Your soccer night, how are you doing with the numbers on that? Are you full on Thursdays?
We're not full.
You have 4 to 6 and 6 to 8-year-olds, right?
Yes.
Do you know like how many you have for each of those class and what you need?
Off the top of my head, no, but I can give you a text tomorrow and let you know.
Oh, that's fine. I can do some advertising because I don't have anything going on for those ages, so.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay, moving on to open discussion. Kathy, do you want to start?
I have nothing, thank you. I do. That's right, come on, look. Just kidding. All right, so let's see. I will start with soccer. We are wrapping up our outdoor fall season. Praying we make it through one more week without the mass complaints. We've had so many complaints within other cities. We've only had one complaint out of this whole thing, so, and it wasn't too bad. but just many other cities, surrounding cities. Actually, we look really good compared to other cities that they're in non-compliance. The players are wearing them as chin straps, the parents are not wearing them at all. And then our players are fully masked, our parents are fully masked, so it's been very frustrating. But we're getting through it. Our teams ended our season very well, so it worked out good for my kids, but for the rest of the club, we're doing pretty well. So we're just glad that these kids were able to play. So we're wrapping that up by the 15th. Our field day, where we get everybody out and the volunteers out to take down the nets, is the 21st from 9 to noon. We'll be taking down nets over at Rotary and Manor Park, and then we'll be getting them out of the way at Maplewood. Just kind of pushing them to the fence side. Let's see, we are planning on having a spring season for our in-house kids, whether it be they have to wear masks or not. Hopefully not when we get there, but that will start back up in April, and that'll be for the younger kids as well. So we had to completely cancel that for spring and fall, but we're hoping to bring that back in the spring, because there's just so many kids that want to play in that age group, and if it works well, and the kids have all went through school with masks on, and hopefully they can come to the fields. So I really haven't had any complaints with the masks. They're doing fine. Another thing is, I know I bring it up every time I just have to, because just put it in our notes, but I am paying $5,600 for our indoor team to play indoors, and that's on the cheaper side. 2 other locations are $8,400. This is, with an indoor facility that we have to travel to Pontiac, Wixom, Canton, that, just, it's always in the back of my mind of having an indoor sport facility, multi-sport facility, but the amount of money that's coming in, and the $8,400, for a team is at a dome, and those domes cost a lot of money. We are taking our team out to Ultimate Sports out in Pontiac, which that's the $5,600. So it is this freestanding location, a building, but I myself am actually looking into talking to the director over at Taylor Sportsplex, because they have a great facility and are losing a ton of money. I mean, I could fill that place with teams, but the marketing there it's not there, it's not happening. The person that runs it, he's busy with other things, so I am going to set up an appointment to go there and say, hey, I know all about this. I know all about scheduling and bringing teams in, marketing, so I'm going to talk to them. It's just, I would love to have Garden City, because there's nothing, so many teams could flock to our city, whether it be Livonia or Westland, Dearborn, this would be a prime location, but I understand that we need space and we need a building, and it takes a lot of money. We all know that for something like that. So, but I'm just saying the amount of money that these teams are pouring into these indoor sport facilities is huge.
Where would you put it?
I have no idea. Kmart. Where the gym was gonna go. Hey, they're not using it right. Can we just have that land? That's great. So also, I'll move into GCYA. I kind of got some information from them and thought I would share. They are looking into their basketball season. Normally we would be kind of like getting into that. Candace is going to make a decision by the 15th of November. Normally we use the gyms at the schools for practice through November through January, and in February we have games at Tipton. With the schools not being open right now, and who knows if they will, I'm praying that they are, but we just don't have that space, so they're looking into renting space. Another thing that we have to go outside of the city, throw tons of money into to try to rent space that we don't have in Garden City. So that's for basketball. That's still up in the air. Okay, so Kerwin Classic, let's see, April 23rd through the 25th. We'll be at Moeller and City Park. Kerwin Classic is also gonna have a fast pitch softball at Moeller only, the 8th and 9th of, April. I think it's April or May. I think it's April. And opening day is May 1st over at Moeller. So, just wanted to update you on those. No, I did not. Yes, I did, actually, yes, I did. And they are utilizing that for their services, so,
Oh.
yes. So, St. Mel's is the, they are utilizing theirs for their overflow as well. But they have like programs in the evenings too, so they didn't really have space at this time. St. Mel's is where GCYA is gonna look into, because they have a rental, company that they use, so she was gonna check into that, so. But we're kind of out of luck in the sports department in Garden City, so, it's hard because we have, a community center that can't be utilized as with all of the community. I mean, certain programs, yes, and I love all these programs that are coming in. Definitely the Nerf, the Playtime with the toddlers, like all these great ideas. It's just hard, and especially right now with COVID, and that's another, setback for us too. But, within the 5-year plan, I know that I was at the round table in those, and, we brought up the indoor sport facility and what it will do for the community, what it will, the money that it can bring in, so we're not going to other cities, so, but, we just kind of take a month at a time, so.
Have you ever looked into how much it would cost for something like that? Because I have no idea, honestly. I know it would be expensive, but like...
Yeah.
Well,
I would probably say within the millions, at least 3, maybe.
So when I was in Wixom, I was on city council, and Total Soccer,
Oh, yeah.
when they came out, that's that's not a city run, city has nothing to do, they don't make any money.
Yeah.
They have nothing to do with that, that is a total private entity.
Right.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I just wanna make sure you're aware that that's definitely not,
Yeah.
I mean, cause like, out in Wixom, there was no,
And I think
we didn't have hockey.
Right.
And we had no indoor anything, and so.
if it was like a community center where the city ran the community center like they do, right? That is definitely one thing, but
Right,
for like if the city were to do something like that and to take it over, then yes, I think, would
Right.
be,
I just wanted to make sure that,
Oh,
that
yeah.
you
Oh,
understood
for sure.
that
yes,
it's just in Wixom, it's not a
exactly.
Wixom.
It's a complete complex, like a sports
Absolutely,
complex.
yes,
Yeah,
no, it's
Taylor
beautiful.
Sportsplex as well, yeah.
Yep, yeah, they're completely, their own, but I can only imagine the money that is coming into those. I do know that there's a lot that goes out, but I mean,
Sure.
for them to charge what they're charging right now, like when I, tell my parents, hey, like this facility is $8,400. This is costing more than our program alone, and I get it, there's the cost. But for like, just for, because we normally use the schools for practices during the evenings, I now have to go to Canton and pay $150 an hour to rent field space. So, it's like, and nobody's attending that. I mean, yes, we're using their electricity and their facility, but that's a pretty penny when you're filled, so. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that was something that Doc was looking into initially. I remember when Dan was phasing out and when you were coming in and when he was meeting with us, and even with meeting with McKenna and all of that, it sounded like they kind of had an idea as to possibly down the road, because I know Doc talked about it, and we were talking about where we would put a facility. And so I thought maybe he has some ideas, so maybe talk to Doc. All I can think of.
Who owns the
I
old?
would say it's probably a wish list, but
Yes.
have you looked into a price on, say, an inflatable dome type deal?
Oh,
If
God.
you could possibly put some heaters in,
Yeah,
throw it on the grass,
I wonder.
winter,
Like they have at the golf dome here in.
Right,
Yeah, I mean, I can check
Put
into it.
I don't think it'd have to be that big, but I don't know.
Right. You guys have location?
Some space during the winter was
Or do you have a dimension that I think that's where I would probably need to start, is if I were to start doing some pricing, they would say, well, what type of, you know,
I guess the first thing is how many fields would you want?
Right. right. And I would love to do multi-sport because,
Right.
you know, for sure, you know, get basketball in there and our soccer or baseball. Those are like 3 main sports that do indoor and pay big money to do something like that, you know. You know, another place that I reached out to is an industrial complex in Canton, and it was, you know, $175 an hour. And that's one field. You know, what we're doing right now is to be able to afford that for the players and the teams is to split the field and have 2 teams, half and half. So that's what we kind of do now, is if we need to use, you know, like over at Rotary, and we've got 2 teams there at the same time, we've already told our coaches, you know, be mindful. You don't need a whole field sometimes, and when you do, you can scrimmage. So it kind of works out both ways. But yeah, I don't mind getting some information on that, you know. So I didn't know if somebody had already done it.
Lead the charge.
Yeah.
Who owns the old Berger property that just sits
The
vacant?
city sold, or not city,
That's
the school
school.
sold it to a
Library?
developer. Not to the
Developer.
developer that was supposed to be putting a bunch of residential houses there.
Let's buy it back.
I thought isn't the library going there, or is that?
That's on the other side,
Oh,
across the
it's on the other
street.
side. Okay,
It's
so
big, nothing.
it is. No, right? Yeah, it is. I've seen.
I don't know if it's big enough, but.
Right.
Sure.
I bet
It's-
you they paid a pretty penny for that property.
And
No?
I don't think so.
A developer?
Did they have to clear everything off of it?
it's empty.
They cleared everything off of it.
Yeah, it's just dirt and
Yeah.
grass right now,
I mean,
grass.
there's a cost in that, right?
Yeah. Is the LA Fitness, is that still a go when they're able to?
The last I heard is when they finish the one they're building in Dearborn, they're gonna start on this one. That's the last I heard, but, everything's subject to change anymore because, CVS is supposed to be something different. than
CVS?
they put on.
But if you were go, Country Day has their own indoor facility. It's 100 yard, and it was, I asked the guy, he said in the millions.
Oh, right.
to
Oh,
do
yeah.
it.
For facilities.
For an indoor facility.
A library, which I don't think would be as big as that facility would be, at least not
No,
width-wise, trying to raise $10 million, so
Mm-hmm.
the property
Right.
that was paid for the development was, a lot cheaper than I thought it was.
That's all I have.
I have nothing today.
I have a few things. I took my kids to the pumpkin painting, so I have a little bit of feedback, if you will. Okay. I would like to see Parks and Recs have something to pay online instead of me having to go to the Maplewood Center to book everything. You know, you guys have something, right? To like register and pay online.
Yeah.
The fee, maybe, yeah.
Yep, I have a meeting with IT, Doc, and Brian 2 weeks from now. With Sal from the Playbook, the company that I told
Yes.
all of you guys about. We're gonna try to move forward with that. I gotta make sure that it can work with our financials and like everything can, the ins and outs of it. So I hope to get that by spring,
Okay.
summer, whatever it is. So
Yeah, I know, that's
so
probably
something
big.
we definitely need.
A big fee. Okay. And then it was just a little cold, so I would say either earlier date or later in the day. It's a little chilly. And then I don't know if this is possible or not, but partnering with some type of craft store, Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby, and asking for a discount on supplies if you buy, I don't know if they work with municipalities or not, but if they would give you, I know all that stuff is expensive for supplies. Okay, and then, but it was fun, my kids enjoyed it, they ran around, they were using all that space later after they were done, so they had a good time. And then, we still do not have a co-chair after Joe left. I know we still don't have a full commission, but, I was almost late tonight, so I was just thinking about it, you know, like who would run the meeting, I guess, if I wasn't here. I think we should get a co-chair, maybe, if anybody's interested, or maybe the new person who eventually comes on. But I'd like to maybe just be thinking about that. And that's all I have.
Anybody want to volunteer to be a co-chair or vice chair in case
Oh, is that what it is, Vice Chair?
Kate's not there?
I know. I'll volunteer. Anyone else want to do it?
Do we vote or anything on it, or should we just?
Anybody else want to run?
All right, Sue, you are the winner.
Woo, yay!
Look at
What's
that.
that?
Easy.
What's that?
Yes.
Easy as pie.
All right, so I just have a couple of things too. The construction, beautification or whatever it is that they're doing to Rotary Park, is there a timeline on it? You know, with the cat machine and the,
That was from
Pile
the
up.
sidewalk.
that was from the sidewalk?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much done, so then they can remove that stuff from there and we don't have to have children climbing on it anymore? Would that be good?
Yeah, I can talk with Brad Owen and make sure that.
I mean, I know it's not gonna happen immediately, but
Sure,
if it,
yeah, see what the
but no.
timeline is on that.
that would be good.
Forms out, so I would say all they're doing now is, I know the piles are gonna take off and they have to fill the dirt alongside the sidewalk, backfill that, and then, put seed down there. So,
Or, you know, and the other thing is if they, you know, they're not looking to get rid of that pile, just maybe put, you know, like a, you know, the yellow caution tape around it, just to maybe stop, behind our residents from having their children play on it. And I was wondering what, if you know what happened with the lawsuit.
No, I don't. I
You
need to-
don't?
No. I need to get in touch with them.
You know what,
Last-
I can look all that stuff up, if you give me the names.
I talked to the attorney before they went to the last session, and he was trying to fight the cost. So Steve with DPS had given the cost, I think it was like just about $3,000, and they were trying to dispute the cost. So I will reach out to Steve and see, because I asked if I needed to be here, and he said no, because it has to do with DPS, and it was over Zoom anyways, it wasn't.
You could have gotten on it though, but that's public, it's
Oh,
public hearing.
yes. If I call them, the attorney, she'll be able to give me all the information, because my name's on it. But I had asked her, I said, do you want me to be there? She's like, really, there's nothing for you to do, but I will find out for you.
All right, I was just curious, because
Yeah.
I missed I showed up at the last meeting, but I found out literally as I was driving down Ford Road that a friend of mine up north thought that she had been subjected to somebody with COVID that she worked with. So that's why when you came up to me and I'm like, that's good, and you're like, oh, okay, and I'm like, no, I wasn't coming in because,
Yeah.
thank God she didn't have it,
Yeah.
but it took her a week to find that out, so. And I think that's all that I have here. Yeah, I'm good, all right.
Oh, I have one thing. I looked at the zoning and planning meetings, and they were starting at 6:30. And I didn't know if this is only a 7 o'clock meeting, or if this is just the way we've always done it, but I didn't know if 2021, if we wanted to start earlier, but I didn't know if that was even an option.
It's an option.
I just wondered
So
what
is
your
it-
thoughts were.
Publicize, it's not what time
Yeah.
the meeting starts.
It's all right
Just
with me.
whatever, I mean, you got, DDA starts theirs in the evening they want the 5:30 PM one, and then they have the 8:30 AM one, so I mean, it's different options, it's pretty much up to you guys, and it's just gotta be when they put out publication, notification.
Now that I'm not taking the bus anymore, it doesn't have any effect on me, I can get in.
I mean, is 7 o'clock good for some of you, or is 6:30 okay?
30's all right with me.
Yeah, I'll go with whatever majority.
How about you, Jen?
Yep, I can do that.
Okay, I'll talk to, Rob and then with,
John.
John, to make sure that they're cool with it too. And then do we wanna start that in 2021, and we only have 2 more
Yeah.
meetings?
I think, yeah, that sounds good.
Just so that
Because you've
way
got
it's
a,
a clean slate, I guess, in a
Yep.
sense.
Fine with me.
Cool. Alright, then I'll talk with Rob and
I mean, not that our gallery is filled with people coming
Sure.
and spending time with us, but if they wanted to.
I just want to say, the sidewalk over at Kiwanis is so cool. It looks like, kind of like a lightning bolt.
Oh,
Yeah, so they got it
a little.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
I do have a question, I'll have to look it up, but I'm sure I can. I'm assuming the sidewalk goes right to the end of the city's property there, because they have that house there, but then there's a kind of L shape back, like, around back behind the house over to, I think that's Shaka maybe, the street, Kiwanis.
The one that's the new sidewalk?
On Maplewood, it goes west.
Oh, the one on Maplewood, not the new one on Henry Ruff.
Right, the one on Maplewood. And I just happened to notice it today, never really paid attention.
It just goes to the end to where that house,
Yeah, but it's a pretty good, it seemed like a pretty good space between it. I didn't know if in the past when they originally did it, if that's right at the property line.
I don't know what the house's property
Then-
line
because
is.
I don't think that house has the property all the way to the fence. So I'm kinda wondering, how that zigzags around, because I think that's Shaka, isn't it? The street that,
That's Henry Ruff.
Henry Ruff.
no,
Oh.
going west.
Going west,
Going west.
From
and then
Henry
there's a
Ruff.
street that cuts back toward, Ford Road, goes back
it
south.
could be
I think
Shaka.
it is Shaka. I think
Oh,
you're right.
wait, I see what you're saying.
It's-
I
it's-
thought there was
it's-
houses waiting.
There's the one house right there, bigger house, and then I don't think.
Then there's another house next, none of those houses have sidewalks.
Yeah, there's like 2 at least.
2 or 3.
houses.
I think there might be 3.
There's three right there.
2 or 3, yeah.
I know, right?
I didn't think that there.
But I don't know how far the first house off the park, how much property they have.
And then the other thing, toward your question for crafts or combining with them, I don't know if we have anything with a nonprofit designation.
I was wondering the same thing.
Anything like that, because I know places like that like to help the nonprofit groups as much as possible. I don't know if we have anything like that, at Maplewood that we could lump that in with, or whatever. And use that as a 501, so you can try and get either donations or a discounted rate with the arts and crafts for some of that stuff.
Bigger profit, that'd be great.
And then my last question that I always do is, what's the pricing, with showers and stuff like that nature?
The showers are still gonna be closed until further notice, just until
Mhm.
things open up a little bit more, we're not having as many restrictions. I mean, technically, with the way that we're going, we're offering open skate and stuff when technically it hasn't been allowed totally yet. So that's where I'm a little hesitant to move forward with the showers, because that's going to keep kids or adults there longer, where we need to get them out the door.
Are the locker rooms open?
Yes, locker rooms are open, yep.
You just can't shower.
You just can't shower. So that's,
But I'm just wondering, because I can almost guarantee when the high schools start back up, those 17, 16, 18-year-old kids are not coming out of there without a shower. So they gotta,
we technically don't have any high school teams.
oh, we don't, I'm just saying other areas and that.
Right.
I gotta believe somehow they're gonna allow that. I know some areas are probably getting.
Because it's funny, because I think the gyms, their shower rooms are open.
Really?
I think so.
The what?
I just walked through Livonia's
I don't know.
last night, actually. Livonia's are, because I walked
Yes.
through their LA Fitness and their showers are open.
Yes.
So,
It's the steam rooms and stuff like that aren't open, but the showers themselves are open.
yeah.
Just look at it as, if you're gonna be sitting on the bench, you're sitting in the locker room, you're sweating, you're doing all that stuff, showers, well, locker room 5 has dividers, so you wouldn't even be close.
Right.
The back two, but I mean, again, if you kind of put in a thing where you can tell teams that, hey, you got a half hour to get everybody showered now, if you abuse it, they're gonna be shut off.
Yeah, it could be something we look into.
Yeah, you don't wanna be hit with a fine for not being compliant. Is that what you're concerned with?
Well, the thing is we're trying to get everybody out of the facilities as soon as their stuff's over. Like, we're not trying to let them lollygag. There are some teams that, they do use the locker rooms, they change out and then they leave. If you allow them to take showers, it's gonna take them even longer. So that's where my thing is if we allow showers, then it's gonna take everybody longer, and that's where I kind of struggle with that. So, it can be definitely something we look into.
I mean, outside teams, because I know the Hockey Association has their own rules.
Yes.
And figured out was, that they're not allowing even the kids into the locker rooms. Which
They're not?
It's an issue for me because I've had people call and say, is it the city or is it the association? Because the team right after them, say Little Caesars, they're walking past and go right in the locker rooms and not an issue. The Garden City teams, they're not allowing them in there. So you got 12U and 14U teams that aren't, they're supposed to be getting rest outside.
Yeah.
And I can see this being a problem, say you're playing a game from a team from Grove Seal or somewhere further away, but these kids are gonna be coming in dressed up
And I have spoken with Tony about that, and she is getting more flexible with the idea of utilizing the locker rooms moving forward. So she is going to start using them. I just don't know how quickly. Especially for those teams that are coming from Grosse Ile or Trenton or any of those. So she is starting to kind of grasp the idea of maybe possibly utilizing, kind of like we talked about on Saturday night, of utilizing the locker room. So it's something it's going to be baby steps. It's just, she's trying to make sure that she's covering all the bases. And
Will the state give you if you ask them, would they give you an answer, yes or no?
You can use the locker rooms.
Oh, can
It's
you?
the association that's not allowing it.
Oh, okay.
well, I think the reason why they're not allowing them is because they can't social distance completely in there. Whether you're, if you have locker room 5, you can fit, I think, 8, 10 kids in there with 6 feet in between.
Oh, 6 feet in between, yeah.
Yeah, so that's where you're trying to, and you can't have anybody in there policing it either. Like, I can't go in there while a team's in there. So it's just, that's where I've been just trying to be supportive of Tony and then the Youth Association on, the stance where they're coming from, because they're going off from MAHA, which is the Michigan Amateur Hockey Association. Let's get that right set. But she is getting to the point where she's ready to start utilizing locker rooms. So
And I don't think that's a MAHA rule because all the other city teams are associated, other teams from outside of Garden City are already using locker rooms. So that's not a MAHA.
Yeah, and they're all Maha.
There's
They all.
not everybody disobeying MAHA wherever they come from. So that's,
I think I can relate to those rules, like, because I see, like, where our state, the state is telling us we have to follow these rules, but then, like, we can literally be on a field over at Wixom or Brighton, and so we have soccer fields here and we have baseball fields here, no masks.
yeah.
It's great. I mean, and it's like based on the organization that you're with. Like, each one is different, and each one has different rules. Some break the rules and some don't. So it's like, or some, it's
That can be
some
certainly
are
frustrating.
open to interpretation.
Exactly.
Some
it's
you
crazy.
have where they'll say the governor's already been ruled illegal and.
Right. Yeah.
And you get into all that stuff. And
Yeah.
Like, I went to Fenton for one of my nephew's hockey games. They didn't have any kind of check-in table. They didn't take any kind of temperatures, which we don't take temperatures at the ice rink. We just say, self-check yourself.
Yeah.
We'll take down your
Right.
name and number. But they didn't even have that.
No.
Some parents didn't even have masks on while they were walking around. So it's like you said, it's different everywhere you
Yeah.
go.
Yes.
And I wish it would just be the same.
Yes, yes.
Either
Yeah.
everybody wear masks or there's no rule on masks.
Right,
Or
right.
something. So,
That's coming when all the lawsuits.
Yeah.
yeah.
How's,
Because now you got the lawsuits.
how's like Serena's the same way, you don't check in, you just come in.
Yeah.
Well, you got the lawsuits that are coming for the health department's rules, because they're saying it's the governors that were ruled unconstitutional. So you got, I think, at one school and then one, chiropractor had sued the health department, and the judge or Supreme Court, whoever, had ruled that, yes, they couldn't, the state couldn't force them to shut down when they wanted to. So it's gonna be lawsuit after lawsuit.
Yep.
Would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.